chooses not to get involved in this thing. So.
Do you think it's part of his either job description or his implied job description, which is the unwritten part, that he's free to fundraise on behalf of a political action committee?
County resources.
Using county resources, obviously not as a private source.
Well, if you're asking that in a theoretical sense, I would say no. If you're asking in terms of fundraising for the issue before us, he didn't fundraise for them. He helped them apply for a grant.
It's
So,
in the original pack that we outlined. In the original
it depends on what you mean by
helping
fundraising.
Helping to apply for a grant on behalf of a political action committee isn't the same thing as fundraising?
He gave them information. The role of ICMA is to provide information with regard to best practices for local government. And he was aware that they have a program that will help to promote the dissemination of information with regard to best practices for local government. He informed the committee, and this is secondhand because I wasn't part of that, he informed the committee of how to apply for that. I don't call that fundraising. I call that application for a grant. No differently than Doug Moorman, as the health department director, applied for grants from the American Red Cross, the Cancer Society, and so on and so on and so on, to get money for the program that he was promoting. Very similar type of thing. There's a difference between applying for a grant and fundraising.
Well, I don't know exactly what you're referring to. I don't know if that was a political action committee or not. I have an email here.
Well, in fact, the La Crosse Area Health Initiative was, I don't know if they were registered with the state, they may very well have been, but La Crosse Area Health Initiative consisted of La Crosse County's health department, along with the 2 medical facilities and several others, that was their sole reason for being was to promote smoking bans.
Well, if there's something unethical somebody else did, it really doesn't pertain here. Now, Exhibit G at the very bottom, I'm just going to read a paragraph from Mr. O'Malley's email, and you tell me whether or not this is fundraising. I have already emailed ICMA to inquire about the check, since we've not received it yet. I will call my ICMA contact in the morning to be sure there hasn't been a glitch. Though I'm confident that their commitment email is solid, it makes me a little nervous that we don't have the money in hand yet. You don't think that's fundraising?
Let me try this again. There's a difference between fundraising and applying for a grant. This was a grant. It was not fundraising.
Getting grant money is...
A grant is money, right? It's funds, correct?
Mr. Cueto, I think we're going to have to agree to disagree on that one.
I don't really see it. I disagree with that. But anyway, okay.
Lawyer talk.
Could I ask that the chief seats be instructed to not be throwing in comments? I think that's disrespectful.
This happened on both sides, by the way.
Both sides should definitely not be doing
Let's
A question for you.
Sure.
It's clarification of you said that getting grant money for a political action committee is not fundraising. How do you, isn't grant money, isn't that financial in nature?
You heard my testimony at the hearing, and that's all I had to say.
I mean, it's just a simple question.
I answered it at the...
And you're refusing to make any comments now?
That is correct.
You want to answer why that is?
When a lawyer puts his foot in his mouth, he doesn't take it out real quick. I think that's the answer to your question.
A politician with his mouth shut?
How you doing? Good, how about you?
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is. If is means is and never has been, that is not that's one thing. If it means there is none, that was a completely true statement.